One of the best things about riding in a bike park is seeing how much your riding progresses, even in a day. However, you do need some basic skills to master before you get to the park, and even when you're here you can build on them. So here are 5 of the best skills that you need to ride in a bike park. Now in bike parks like Whistler, you're going to see a lot of features like this with big rock rollers. They can look very intimidating to ride, but there's a lot of traction on them, even when they're dusty like this one. All you've got to think is, slow in, control your speed before you roll over the edge, and then just let it flow. As you approach rock features like this, you need to be in your attack position. All your body weight should be on your hips, driving through the bottom bracket of the bike. Have your best foot forwards and dip those heels. Upper body should be nice and relaxed and be controlling your speed as you approach the rock feature. As you spot the roll-in entrance, just slow down slightly, make sure you spotted your exit, and then come off the brakes and let it roll. The berm is the most common feature you'll find in any bike park around the world. What is a berm? Berm is simply an abbreviation for banked turn. As you can see behind me, it's just a nice rounded turn, gives you a bit more support and grip in the corners. The thing with berms, it's all about 3 main points. Controlling your speed on entry, looking at your entry point, and when you're in the turn, spotting your exit point. That's all there is to it. You don't need to brake in the turn, all this does is lose traction. One of the things you see in all bike parks is a variety of ladder drops like these. In Whistler, you get a lot of areas like this where you can practice your skills on smaller options before taking it out onto the trails and honing your skills on the bigger ones. So just like the smaller learner drops that we saw in the park, this is exactly the same, just on a different scale. As with the learner drops, you don't want to go too fast and land to flat. The idea is to try and match the transition of that landing. Same principle as rock rollers as well. Easy in, defensive riding position, control your braking, spot your landing, and keep your weight back. You don't have to pull up. If you pull up, you go into flat, and you don't want to do that. It's all about relaxing on that bike and keeping your position back. Learning to jump is something that everyone wants to do, and the best place to do that really is a bike park because there's so many different options. Things to look out for Whistler, the little orange flags. That's your telltale there's going to be a takeoff coming up. As with anything, you've got to start small, start basic, a bit slower as you're coming in, just to get the feel of that transition before you start moving on to bigger jumps. Before you get carried away jumping, first thing you want to do is actually get your bike set up to do that. Get that saddle out of the way, slam it in the frame, whether that's a good old-fashioned way with a quick release or Allen key, or if it's a dropper post. Nice and low, it's not going to kick you up the back. Second option, if you've got a rear shock, put on a few more clicks of rebound than you would normally run. The last thing you want is if you preload into a jump and it ricochets you off funny. A little bit of rebound can help control that and makes it feel a lot more comfortable. Luckily, most of the trails here are built in such a way that it's quite intuitive the speed you need to attack a jump like this. Really, it's just rolling speed coming into this. Any faster than you are going to get that horrible kick you don't want. Come in, stay nice and relaxed. Again, keep your body weight through your legs. You don't want to suck up the jump, you want to just let the jump just push you naturally off the ground. As you come off the takeoff, you want to try and level the bike out in the air and ideally meet with the landing. You'll often see stuff like this in bike parks all around the world. It's known as North Shore, and it takes its name from the famous North Shore of Vancouver. The riding on the North Shore of Vancouver was made famous in the 90s by a bunch of free riding pioneers who used to build these sort of trails. Now the reason they'd build these laddered slats is to cover gaps in the ground, boggy sections, and even huge chasms. It wasn't there to make it fun to start with, it was to make a trail purposeful, but as you can see, pretty fun stuff to ride, and this style of riding has crept to bike parks all over the world. One of the things that freaks people out about North Shore riding is the skinny stuff like this. But let's just take it back to riding on a concrete car park for a minute, and you think how easy it is to ride in a dead straight line. All this is head games. Anyone can ride along a bone straight piece of trail like this, it's just elevated above the ground. With North Shore riding like this, you've just got to approach it calmly and spot your exit points. It's that simple. Don't forget to click in the middle to subscribe. There's a brand new video every single day. And if you want to find out what a bike park is, click down here. If you want to know a bit more about bike park fitness, like I probably should, click down here. In the meantime, don't forget to give us a thumbs up if you like the video.